I started to notice my mom wasn't that into music, which is weird for me because being a little musician, music is the most wonderful thing that ever happened to me. How can anybody not like music? During that time, there was no internet and no pocket games yet. Well, there were, but only a few privileged ones had Game& and Watch and Atari consoles. Fred, my friend, a tall guy, turned out to be more than 6 feet tall, I think. For Asians, that's considered tall. He was kind enough to let us watch and play with him, and wow, it was a great time in my life. He had so much. I was lucky to have friends like him because I wasn't so fortunate since I had so many brothers and we had to save on everything. My other neighbors, Bobette, Jing, and Bon, Fred included, all know how to play guitar and we played outside together. That was a really great experience for me too. We exchanged new songs, we learned and shared it with each other, and it was awesome. I noticed that every time I went home, however, my mom had this look of disappointment again in her eyes when she saw me with the guitar. She never said anything. I didn't understand still. So, what I did was to just hide my guitar behind my back when I went home. Time came when I graduated elementary. I was transferred to a big school. I came from a one building school back then, so when I transferred to a university, it was like, wow, they have streets in the campus. It was a great experience for me. One of the things I did remember clearly during that time was my first music class. I had music class in elementary, but this was high school. I get to learn the secrets of the musical universe now. I remember going in early for class, excited and jittery. Then my classmates went in, and my teacher finally arrived. I was like, wow, this is it. She introduced herself and turned around and wrote 5 lines on the blackboard and a G clef. She said you should always start from the second line when drawing this G clef. And I was like, this is it, this is it. She was explaining the lines are E, G, B, D, F. Every good boy does fine. Then the spaces is literally a face. F, A, C, E. This will be easier for you to remember, she said. I was like, what? Why do I have to remember that? It's just basically the alphabet all over again. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. I did not say anything though because I was afraid to. Days became weeks and I was getting frustrated. We were still doing the staff thing. She was placing notes and teaching us how to write sharps and flats, which at that time I had no idea what she was talking about. Interestingly enough, I had a classmate who was doing well, so I talked to her. I said, hey there, how do you do it? She said, what, this? It's so easy. It's just mathematical, just count it. So she taught me. I felt ashamed of myself. I then asked her, I know the guitar, you probably are a great musician. She answered, what are you talking about? I don't play anything. I don't even like music. I'm just here for the grade since we just need to finish all of our subjects. My jaw dropped. I was crushed. After that, I zoned out of the class, and like what my intelligent classmate said, we're just here to finish the class. We never even got to play any kind or form of instrument up to the end of the class. It's funny, right? John said. And why is that? Ron replied. John answered, because it took you only 10 minutes to make me play music on the keyboard. I know, right? Ron said. John then asked, does that mean I can play any song? Well, yes and no, Ron answered. John requested Ron to please explain. Ron, thinking deeply, said, you can only play 2 keys there. For the white keys, it's a C major and an A minor. Ron uses a pen and paper to draw the diagram. Similar to chords, like I said earlier, there's only one chord in the universe. If you have an A chord and you want to make it a B chord, you just move the position on the guitar. Same with the scales, although it always comes in twos, a major and a minor. If you have a C major or A minor scale, you just have to move it or change its pitch to make it into a D major or B minor scale. All you need to do is to move it or transpose it. There is a transpose button which will move or transpose the scale to a higher or lower pitch. All you need to do is follow the letters on the keyboard to know where you are and how many steps you need to take. For D major, for instance, you have to go up a black key then down a white key. You have to add two steps. Press transpose then add two. Voila! You can now use it for D major. Or, since you know that it is also an A minor, by adding 2, it will also transpose it to B minor. So you can use the same scale now for B minor. John asked, "Why are the white keys so easy to use?" Ron replied, "Well, the C major A minor scale is the primary design of the keyboard." John wanted to clarify, how so? When I learned all of this, and I got to look at the keyboard again, I could imagine the inventor, Bartolomeo Cristofori, wanting to make a musical instrument, probably said in his head, "Music is easy, you just have to get rid of 5 notes. My invention will be easy to play, even a caveman should be able to play it. But first, you have to understand that there is only one string in the universe." John asked, "There is only one string now?" Ron replied, "Exactly. The string is made up of 12 parts or steps in the key of C. He then divided it into 2 parts. One has 7 notes, heptatonic, and the other one has 5 notes, pentatonic. The thing is, they don't sound nice together. They are worlds apart. One is a C major, A minor, and the other one is an F sharp major, D sharp minor. When he separated them, he did it on the keyboard. He was probably thinking to himself, 'I did it. Even a caveman can play this now, using only 7 notes, which is always in harmony.' The problem is, what do you do if you use it for a different key? There was no technology then, so you cannot transpose yet. Bartholomew probably does a facepalm. So you had to learn to use the piano with the black keys, using all 12 notes again. It's a good thing that now we have the technology to just press a button and move or transpose the pitch, and voila, I am a musical genius," said the caveman. "So, thanks, Sir Bartholomew. Your device did work." John said, "Wow, you thought of all of that?" Ron replied, "I know, right? I think of the strangest things sometimes." "Well, now you know the simple reason why I can play the keyboard without studying it."